Graders, it is time for our next video tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about AR verbs. AR verbs. Now, you know as well as I know that all verbs, all infinitives, end in either AR, IR, or ER. We've learned how to say things like to speak. We've learned how to say things like to write. We've learned how to say things like to read. And if you'll notice, we've got an AR, an IR, and an ER ending to those verbs. Well, today we're going to learn how to use verbs in a form other than their infinitive form. Remember, an infinitive form is always with the little word to at the beginning of it, okay? Most verbs in Spanish end in an AR. We're going to use the verb hablar, which means to speak or to talk, as our example today. But before we use hablar, we need to know what we're going to be saying. If I want to say I speak, I would say I speak. I would say you speak. I would say he or she speaks. And if you notice, there's a difference between I speak and she speaks. Our verb has an S at the end of it, speaks, right? It's the same thing in Spanish. We have a different ending to mean different sayings. So, our endings are always the same, no matter what. We take our verb infinitive, hablar, and we are going to drop the AR. So all we have left is what we call the stem. And this is our stem. Okay? So now we have to add an ending to it so that when you say it with the ending, it means I speak, you speak, he or she speaks. Okay? So we keep our stem, and if I want to say I speak, you add an O to the end of it. So I would say yo hablo. Yo hablo, which means I speak. Our ending for to is AS. You keep your stem, add AS. Tu hablas. Tu hablas. If I want to say he or she speaks, my ending is an A. Él habla. Ella habla. Also, if I want to say you, and I'm speaking to an adult or someone I don't know very well, I would say ustedes habla. Ustedes habla. Got it? If we move over here to our nosotros, we continue in the same pattern with A-M-O-S, amos. So we say nosotros hablamos. Hablamos. We would also say nosotras hablamos. Hablamos. If I'm in Spain and I want to say you all, then I'm going to say vosotros habláis. Habláis. But we only use that if we're in Spain. And if I want to say they or you all anywhere other than Spain, my ending is AN. Hablan. Ellos hablan. Hablan. Ellas hablan. Okay? So my endings, you can think of it this way. If you want to remember your AR endings and get the stamp when you have to come up and say, I know the AR endings, here's how you say it. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. Okay? Got it? Great. Let's practice. So now it's practice time. Here are some examples of an AR verb. We've got cantar, esquiar, hablar, and bailar. All of them have an AR at the end of the word. A-R, A-R, A-R. And they mean to sing, to ski, to speak, and to dance. So what's the first thing we're going to do when we're going to conjugate these verbs, use them in a sentence with our pronouns? The first thing we're going to do is we are going to cross out the ARs. So we still have what we call our stems. Okay, here's our stems. Those are what are left when we've crossed out the AR. Now we're going to play our matchy-matchy game. It's just matchy-matchy, that's all it is. So we are going to take our pink marker, because I like pink, and the first thing we're going to say is we're going to say, I dance. I dance. So we have to figure out which verb is to dance, and somebody yell it out in the back. That's right, it's bailar. So we've got by right here. Remember, o, has, a, amos, ais, an. These are our verb endings, okay? So if I want to say I dance, what ending am I going to use? The yo form, that's right, with o. So I'm going to say yo bailo. I dance. Good. All right, so we can cross this one out because we've already used it. Let's go on to ella, which means she. That's right. Good job. Give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, we want to say she sings. So which verb are we going to use to mean she sings? Ding, ding, ding. That's right. Cantar. Cantar. So we're going to say ella, and what is our ending? We're going to start with can. What's our ending? Good. Canta. Muy bien, muy bien. All right. Now let's go with, we can cross that one out. Now let's go with we ski. We ski. So that's esquiar. So we're going to say nosotros. It's a hard one to pronounce, you're right. Esquiamos. Esquiamos. Good. Esquiamos. So we can cross that one out, and obviously Marta y tú. So if I'm saying to one person and saying and you, what pronoun do we need to use? Or what ending do we need to use? We need to use, that's right, the they ending for girls. But it doesn't matter as far as the ending is concerned. But we're going to say use the they ending. So we've got our stem. And what ending do we use? A-N, that's right. Hablan. Okay? Marta y tú hablan. Marta and you speak. Okay? Now, our last one is easy. You can choose any of these that you want. I'm going to choose cantar because I like to sing. And I'm going to say, what? Ustedes cantan. Ustedes cantan. Very good. That's our practice. Okay, so there you have it. We've learned our lesson, we've practiced our lesson, and now it's time for you to show me what you know. So, at the end of this video, you're going to go back to the blog and you're going to click on AR Endings Quiz. It's going to take you to a Google Doc where you're going to finish the quiz, fill in your answers, click on Submit to Me, and I'll know what you know. Have a great day, Raiders, and we'll see you next time.